Okay, from here it starts the speaking test. This is the speaking test of the International English Language Testing System taking place online in Ross IELTS Academy. The candidate is Luciano Trignani. Candidate number is 0143258. The examiner is Mehnu Shafi, examiner number 443532. Good afternoon. My name is Mehnu Shafi. Would you please tell me your full name?
Good afternoon. My full name is Luciano.
And what can I call you?
You can call me easily Luciano.
Okay. Can I see your identification, please?
Yes, of course. That's my passport. Let's have a look.
Yes, thank you very much. Great. So, Luciano, we can get started with the first part of the exam.
Okay.
In the first part, I will ask you some personal questions. First, let's talk about family. How much time do you manage to spend with members of your family?
Well, fortunately, I had a lot of time available to spend with my family. Nowadays, I'm currently in my hometown. Due to the COVID-19 restriction, I'm following my university class online. So to be honest, nowadays I really had a lot of quality time with my family.
Okay. And in what way is your family important to you?
Well, my family is pivotal for me. They have been teaching me the values and they have provided me a lot of education as the kind of person that I am right now. It's, if I may say, the result of all the efforts that I have been doing since now. So they are, they cover an important part of my life, surely.
Okay. And what sort of things do you like to do together?
Yeah, I like talking to my mother, my father especially, and I really enjoy spending holiday with them. We have been to Croatia last year, but I really enjoy even going outside and even to hang out with them. So it could be sound ambiguous, but we have a lot of similarities.
Perfect. Now let's talk about your country. Which part of your country do most people live in?
Well, to be honest, a lot of people in my country live in the northern part. Basically, we have the Lombardy region, and with the capital of this region, which is Milan, and its economic and financial center. So a lot of people live there, and many people, especially they're coming from the south, are willing to move there because there's a lot of job opportunities and even the quality of life, I think it's better compared to the other part of my country.
Okay, perfect. And is there any place in your country that is beautiful but not given that much importance?
Yes, of course. I think the southern part of my country offers a stunning, place. But if I have to take into account the important, I would probably say that probably our local government, the Italian government, better saying, they not invest a lot of financial resources on developing this kind of area. So they are relying on the tourism as main resources activity. But in any case, of course, it's they offer stunning place with even breathtaking view, and there's a lot of seaside place where the people can go and spend their holiday. Yeah.
Perfect, perfect. Now let's move on to talk about cooking and diet.
Okay.
Would you say that you have a healthy diet?
Yes, of course. I'm a sportman and I've been practicing CrossFit for many years, and I like eating vegetable, fruit, and even rice with chicken because I really enjoy keeping myself healthy and fit.
Great. And do you think that it's important to know how to cook well?
Yeah, of course. It could be, crucial for everyone. I'm coming from Italy, and Italy is famous for its cuisine. And so, if you are interested and if you are a food lover, you can start, understanding all the typical, dishes, and you maybe can follow some kind of course if you are basically interested in this kind of subject.
Mhm. Thank you very much. Great. Now we are done with the first part and we can move on to the second part.
Okay.
Now in part two, I will give you a cue card with a topic on that and you will have to talk about it for 2 minutes.
Okay.
But before you talk, you will have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say and you can make notes if you wish. Do
Okay.
you understand?
Yes, of course.
Perfect. So now you can take a paper and a pencil to make notes. And I share my screen with you so that you can see the topic. So I would like you to describe a website you use that helps you a lot in your work or studies. Now you
Okay.
have 1 minute to think about it.
Okay. I'm ready.
Yes. Okay, your 1 minute is over.
Okay.
And now you can talk about the topic for 2 minutes and do not worry if I stop you.
Okay.
You may start now.
Okay, I'm gonna talk about one of the main site that I recently started using. His name is iTalki, and it's an international website which provides you the real opportunity to start learning a new language.
Mhm.
Personally, and talking my own experience, I've been using this app since the beginning of the preparation for the IELTS exam. I remember indeed that 2 months ago, probably if I remember precisely, I was a little bit afraid because I had to work hard in order to brush upon my English skills. And so I've been in touch with a professor thanks to this app, and he has been guiding me throughout this path. And I would say that probably I had improved a lot. I had enhanced my knowledge, thoroughly. But to be precisely, this kind of app even offers a variety of opportunity. And I'm not talking only about the possibility to learn English because you can be in touch with a professor or community tutor from all over the world. You can start learning the all the languages um, despite the kind of needs that you have. There's a lot of people that start learning something new for in their leisure time, or
Mhm.
because of course someone needs to move abroad, and they basically have to know some specific kind of language. In conclusion, I can say that I've been and I'm satisfied of this kind of
Thank you
website.
very much.
Okay.
Great. So we are now done with the second part and we can move on to the third part.
Okay.
So in the second part, you've been talking about a website you use that helps you a lot in your work or studies. And now I would like to ask you some questions related to this.
Okay.
First, let's consider the internet. Why do some people find the internet addictive?
I think that internet being part of the technology revolution has been, crucial for the development, of our society. A lot of people start using and surfing on internet for many kind of purpose. So if someone, of course, wants to order some kind of product, you can rely on internet, surfing and searching some specific kind of product online, shops. But there's a lot of people that really enjoy being in touch with your friends, so they can attend a video conference using Skype or even Zoom, or even for work reasons. Let's bear in mind that nowadays, due to the COVID-19 restriction, a lot of people, and I can, say, of course, and tell you the experience that I've seen of my father. My father is a chartered accountant, and he has been working online, being in touch with his colleagues every single day. So there's a lot of opportunities that this internet can basically offer all the people.
Okay, great, good. So you talked about the opportunities that the internet and the technology can provide us with. Now I would like to ask you, what would the world be like without the internet?
Well, it's a tough question to answer. I think that the as I was saying before, internet being part of the technology revolution inevitably, reflects the development of nowadays society. And so it could be hard for someone, going back to 20 or even 30 years ago, because even thanks to the technology revolution, we have seen a kind of development and even change of the people needs. So nowadays, everyone really enjoy spending their leisure time using social network, and I can't imagine, of course, a nowadays world without the use of internet, to be honest.
Okay, great. Now let's talk about social media websites.
Okay.
Why do some individuals post highly negative comments about other people on social media?
Well, it's I guess that we are more than 7 billion nowadays in the world, and everyone has different point of view, different kind of thoughts. And on the other hand, there are even a lot of people that really enjoy and really wants to criticize and even envying the other people, what we basically define haters nowadays, and they are basically commonly in social media. So I think that probably there's a true kind of perspective, if I may say, in this statement. So probably the people are different, and there's even a lot of people that want only criticize and not being focused on
Okay,
themselves.
great. And have you ever left a negative comment on somebody's post or videos?
Well, to be honest, I've never done anything like that before, and I don't like. I'm not the kind of person that to be honest, I do not. I'm not posting a lot of stuff on Facebook or Instagram because I'm quite introvert, and I don't like to share to other people secrets and my private life. But I have
Okay, thank you
never,
very much.
criticized anyone. Yeah.
Great, great, wonderful. Thank you. This is the end of the speaking test, and you can relax and breathe. So, I will now just need 2 minutes to
Yeah,
see
that's
what
right.
score I can give you in each criteria, and I'll be back to you. I just mute myself.
Yeah, of course. I will be here. I'm here.
Yes, I can see you now. Good. So before I get started, you tell me, what do you think of your performance?
Well, I try to do my best, to be honest.
Mhm.
Yeah, I felt quite comfortable talking about this kind of argument. Yeah, internet, it's current, of course.
A familiar
Art.
topic.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good, great. So you were lucky to have
Yeah,
this topic today.
yeah, exactly. Sometimes
Good.
there are something it could be tough to talk about. Yeah.
Yes, good for you. So, first, I would like to talk about the three parts, part one, part two, and part three. Then I will tell
Okay.
you some more things about the four criteria. So to start with, I can talk about the first part. In the first part, I was quite okay with your answers. Like, I asked you questions in three different topics, and you gave me good answers. It was sufficient. You referred to the answer and then explanations and examples. Naturally, that was a good thing. And sometimes I had to stop you, but it's okay. Like, just remember not to give very long answers in part one. It's like
Okay. Sorry.
normally three sentences.
Okay.
And if you speak too much, then the examiner has to stop you. But it was totally fine in part one. Good paraphrasing, everything. In part two, you covered your 2 minutes and you explained about the topic really well. It was like a storytelling. You were talking naturally using the connectives and conjunctions accurately. That's a very good thing in your speaking. You covered all the bullet points, but you missed the last one that explain how your work or studies would change if this website didn't exist. So you should have talked about the world or your studies or work without this website.
Okay.
Imagine something.
Yeah, I miss. Yeah, I
So
miss this one.
yes, you missed the last one. That was the only problem you had in part two. And in part three, you gave quite good answers to the questions because you elaborated on your answer. You covered whatever idea you were referring to.
Okay.
So this is a general idea of the three parts, what you did, your performance, and now I want to start with the criteria. The
Okay.
first one, fluency and coherence. So, Luciano, what I liked about your speaking, first of all, is that you were confident, you didn't look stressed, and everything was taking place naturally. And you were not trying to use some fancy
Well,
words.
I give you. I will say, if I remember 3 months ago,
Mhm.
probably I was not confident speaking. So I'm taking the higher because I have to move abroad. So I have to go to study abroad. So if you're not native English speaker, you can know you have to be certified. When I figure out that since the beginning I was a little bit afraid for the speaking because I'm not living in UK or in US, so it's quite difficult to find someone you can talk to.
Mhm.
And I started speaking finding even an English partner, if I may say. So it was another guy that he was even looking for. I don't remember the score, but he had to take even the higher exam. So
Mhm.
because I was not confident, I'm not talking about fluence or because, but talking about myself, of course, I really enjoy speaking. Yeah, English. I
Yeah,
really
that's
enjoy it.
why that's why you just showed me a good range of structures and vocabulary this time. It's a really good thing in your speaking. Good. So, I can say that yes, it's really good. You are able to keep talking and you have the flow of the speech. Sometimes you had some self-corrections and self-repetition. You said something, then you corrected yourself, and it's okay because you are trying to formulate your answer and come up with some ideas and grammar and vocabulary. These things happen. And so if you want to just boost your score in fluency and coherence, try to reduce your self-correction and self-repetition. And
Okay.
I will tell you how to do that. But on the other hand, I can say I loved how naturally you use a range of connectives and discourse markers. For example, I could hear, well, basically, if I remember well, in order to, despite, it's a tough question. On the other hand, I guess, so these were some very good connectives and phrases actually that you were using in your speaking. It's a very good thing. But you did not cover the last bullet point. So because of all these things, I can say that you get a 6 in your fluency and coherence. It is not hard for you to get a 7. Just make sure to cover all the bullet points in part to end. Cover your 2 minutes, which you did.
Okay.
Reduce your self-correction and self-repetition. And to do that, you can buy yourself some time and sometimes speak it slower,
Okay.
right? Like when you want to start your answer, you say, well, that's a tough question. I can actually say that. So you pause a little because you want to come up with ideas, and that's okay.
Okay.
You buy yourself some time and then you go back to your normal pace. That can help you. And if you do that, then it is not unlikely for you to get a 7 in your fluency and coherence. But for now, I give you a 6. In your vocabulary lexical resource, I gave you a 7 because, first of all, you are able to use a range of words, collocations, and idiomatic vocabulary. And I loved your paraphrasing. You did not repeat my words or even your words. You were trying to use some synonyms, and that's a good thing. For example, first to talk about collocations, you said used job opportunities or to be in touch with somebody. And also, you use the word cuisine instead of food. That's a synonym, a good synonym. Crucial instead of important. Take something into account, breathtaking, to brush up my English. And leisure time instead of free time. So there was a variety of words you were using. I would say the best thing in your speaking is your vocabulary, how you
Okay.
use the different words. That's a very good thing. And paraphrase the questions. So you got a 7 in your vocabulary because you used some less common and idiomatic vocabulary and you had a good paraphrasing. Do you have any questions so far?
Uh, well, to be honest, I don't have question. So I really want to receive a feedback because I think it's important. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Okay, so I can go on with your grammatical range and accuracy. Luciano, you got another 7 in your grammatical range and accuracy because you were using a range of complex structures. To mention some, you used conditional sentences, relative clause, compound sentences like adverbs in the beginning of your sentence, subordinate clause. That's a very good thing. Maybe to talk about the story or the events that are happening in part 2, you can use some time order words like first of all, then, after that, consequently, eventually. If you can use them, then do so.
Okay.
That can actually help you. And a good range of tenses: present perfect continuous, present perfect, past perfect. You have a good command of English and you have a good range of grammatical structures. However, I couldn't give you a higher score because you made frequent mistakes, some grammatical mistakes you had in your speaking,
Okay.
and they were mostly in singular and plural.
Oh,
You
okay.
forget the S, I don't know why. For example, you said many many kinds of. Everyone
Okay.
enjoy their time. Everyone enjoys their free time. I recently start using, I recently I have recently started using. So you miss some things at the end of your word. Maybe it's ed, maybe it's plural s. Just be careful with that. Or
Okay.
even you said to be precise.
Oh, okay.
And do not forget articles. For example, I'm a sportsman, I'm a
Oh,
sportsman.
okay.
If you are food lover, if you are a food lover. So
Oh, okay.
generally it was about singular, plural, and article. And you know the grammar. Just be careful when you are talking.
Okay.
So you got a 7 because of this. And finally, to talk about your pronunciation, you got another 7 in your pronunciation because I could hear the intonation, like raising and lowering your voice. It was not a monotone kind of speaking, and I could understand what you were saying, except some mispronunciations. For
Okay.
example, and it was mostly about the pronunciation of vowels in the beginning of the word, vowel sounds. For
Okay.
example, even, you said heven, eating, eating, you say he, you pronounce it he.
Oh, that's right.
For opportunity, you say opportunity, something like that. And be careful with the silent sounds, silent letters. You said honest, honest, or talking, talking.
Okay.
That's all about it. And your pace was okay. It was not too fast, not too slow. That was a good thing in your speaking. Generally, I can say 1-6 in fluency and coherence, 7 in vocabulary, 7 in grammar, and 7 in pronunciation will bring you a 7 in your
Okay.
speaking. I think that's the score you were looking for, or it can help you. I would say that you have a good command of English, Luciano, and since your exam is taking place in a few days, you shouldn't worry about anything because you are able to use a range of connectives, boosters and fillers. You have a good range of vocabulary, collocations, and idiomatic language, and you paraphrase well. You know the
Okay.
grammar and you have a good pronunciation. Just make sure to cover all the bullet points. Be
Okay.
careful with singular, plural, and articles in your grammar. And in your pronunciation, be careful with the correct pronunciation of some words starting with a vowel sound.
Okay. Yeah, I will take care of the kind of advising. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think, the pronunciation, I'm completely aware that sometimes I have a little difficulties, but yeah, I don't know. It's probably related to my Italian accent. I don't
Mhm.
know the reason, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, but you shouldn't worry because you said that you need an overall band score of 6. So if you do not manage to get a higher score in your pronunciation, your vocabulary is fine, or your grammatical range is fine, or even today you got a 6 in your fluency, but you can get a 7 in your fluency. So you shouldn't worry. You're already there.
Okay, okay. Thanks. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
You're welcome. Okay, then. So if you have no other questions, we can say goodbye. But before that, if you agree, we can share your video on YouTube for others to
Yeah,
learn
that's
from you.
for course, of course. Yeah, that's no
Okay.
problem for
Okay.
me.
Thank you
Okay.
very much. So
Bye.
I
Thank
wish you
you.
best of luck
Yeah, I
and
will
bye-bye.
let you know. Bye.
Thank
Have a
you.
good day.
Bye.
Speaking Course. This course is made up of 5 offline speaking videos in which you will learn all the necessary tips and techniques to take the IELTS Speaking Test with a high score.
Tell me about your family. Do you like...
In addition to that, you will have access to useful grammar and vocabulary resources. Once you finish your course, you will have 1 online mock test of speaking along with comprehensive feedback under the same exam conditions.
Interesting question. A very
Join us to become our next successful candidate.